This is my GT project, which I did on designing spaces. By me, Aliana Ruiz. Phase 1, Learning Experiences. Introduce students to the unit. Ways that an architect is like an artist, and ways that an architect is like a mathematician. It's like an architect because they get to design what buildings look like and how much space is inside, and they're a mathematician because they have to calculate how much space they have inside. Measure and describe an area. This is where we had to choose an area to measure and describe. I chose my bedroom. On the left is an online version of the blueprint, and on the right is a paper version. Here are some questions that I had to answer about the space. Fibonacci sequence and golden mean. This is where I researched and learned about the Fibonacci sequence and golden mean. The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence of numbers which each number in the sequence is equal to the sum of the two numbers before it. The golden mean is the medium between two extremes. At the bottom is a golden rectangle, which uses the Fibonacci sequence and golden mean. Contemporary, public, and private issues. Contemporary issues related to architecture are having enough resources, actively listening to viewers, keeping up with changing technology, navigating the political landscape, making a difference, and having passion. Some public issues are meeting various expectations of society, having the ability to adapt to future changes, technology, and resources. Some private issues are cost and privacy concerns. Phase 2, Independent Research, Modern Cottage. This is where we had to choose an architect or architectural style to research about. I chose Modern Cottage. What is Modern Cottage? It involves sink-into-me furniture, organic textures like linol wood and vintage accents, and along edgier sculptural pieces. It's a little country and a little modern. It embraces the antique aesthetic, but folds in modern elements such as moody paint colors, reclaimed wood pieces, and chunky textiles. Modern Cottage has lots of elements, interior and exterior, like exposed beams and natural stones, arched doorways, fences and gates, or stone pathways. Here are some questions that I had to answer throughout my research about Modern Cottage. Create a proposal. This is where we had to take the architectural design that we researched and the golden mean and incorporate it into an original design. And then put it into a proposal. Where in the proposal we had to say how it referred to the architectural style, the function and purpose of the structure, and the intended look and feel of the structure. On the right is my design. We also had to include the estimate for budget and construction and materials for the structure. You can see on the right is the blueprint of my design. We also had to include the budget and timeline for construction and materials for the structure. The budget, it would be about $240,000. Whereas the timeline for construction would be about 8 months. And some materials that I would use would be wood, bricks, concrete, and metal. The product. Here's my final product, completed with modern cottage elements, my original design, and an actual representation of the golden ratio. In the next slide, there will be a tour of the house. There was the front, the right side. Here is the back and the left side. That's the roof. And inside is the first floor. And here's the second floor. And that is the product of my project. Here's the bibliography on the websites that I used to help me with the research in this project. Thank you for listening to my project.